I find it interesting and slightly entertaining that Boris, once so many of his aides have left, has hired Gutto Hari to replace them. And he's also hired a sitting MP. It's eccentric to say the best. Or to say the least. Is it the best or the least? I have no idea. Anyway, but actually, I rather applaud this. Gutto Hari is a sound individual. Boris is right to look there. His stuff on GBNews, well, GBNews has, from its very beginning, had a sort of wobbly start. I was slightly involved myself, or at least I might have been slightly involved myself, but I wasn't. And, it needs shaking up. And I think Gutto Hari was trying to do that by taking the knee. Well, why not? It seems odd that he was then forced to resign from that place. I think it's right that he's been given another chance. I don't know. I don't think it's right that Boris is taking chances at this particular moment. At this particular moment, when Boris's own future is at stake, he should be playing safe, I think, rather than taking further chances. But at this moment, maybe everything is so up in the air. Chance is the only possible direction. I wish if Boris has made that decision, that he would take more of a chance with the people around his cabinet table. Most of them need to go. Not as a reflection on their own performance, though I think I think people may certainly share with me an opinion that their own performance is fairly lacking, but because this would be an opportunity to bring people in from the backbenches so that people have their feet under the cabinet table, they have experience, and they can then make a bid to replace Boris in time. I think if all goes well, and Boris can hang on for a few more months and give other people experience, we may have, we may be lining up the best Prime Minister that we've had in a generation. But certainly the last few Prime Ministers have been wanting. David Cameron showed a lot of potential and failed twice. He failed, first of all, by bad-mouthing the Queen, and then he failed by following through this hubris by deciding to hold a second referendum on Europe, having been successful in his first referendum on Scotland. Then Theresa May was probably the worst Prime Minister that we have ever had, to be followed by Boris, who again is brought down by hubris. It is like looking at Greek theatre in action, looking at the last three Prime Ministers in the UK. So possibly even the last four Prime Ministers, if we include Gordon Brown, and we think of his remark to the lady, and that remark he made while he got back in his car and thought the microphone was switched off. Again, it's people being brought down by their own pomposity and their own double standards, their own hypocrisy. Mrs. May, I think, is not in that line. Mrs. May was just dreadful, really. She was dreadful as Home Office Minister. She was more dreadful as Prime Minister. Maybe like Edward Heath, she will rise in dignity and gravitas on the backbenches, and she will be something quite interesting by the time she resigns. Also, John Major had that particular trajectory, so there is hope. I don't think somehow Boris is going to redeem himself on the backbenches. When he goes, he goes. Have fun. Bye-bye.